Delete your Mercenary right now. We made a Ranger Deadeye grenade character that does more damage, has more projectiles, is more tanky, faster, better, stronger in any conceivable way than the Merc has ever been. And it saddens me, but at the same time, I'm absolutely amazed. This character is currently sitting at level 85 solo self-found, which means any one of you can replicate this. What is making this Ranger so much better than my Merc Grenadier? That has multiple reasons. First, what are we actually doing? We're simply throwing our explosive grenades and then explosive shot. That's the main gameplay loop for mapping. A very simple one, almost a one button build. If you're meeting rares, you're going to do a gas grenade in between with stun grenades, flammability curse, and also the tar grenade to give them even more fire exposure. Otherwise, explosive grenades, explosive shot, explosive grenade, explosive shots. Against bosses, you obviously need the full breadth and scope of your abilities. You do so much stun because of the bonus projectiles that we're having being a Deadeye that you even stun them through the heavy stun. And then you're using your fire exposure with the tar and the flammability curse to just completely overwhelm them with explosive grenades and gas grenades. Before we get into the goodness of the Ascendancy points, there's a starter in the description below to this point if you're just about to begin. Now, as a Deadeye, we get an amazing thing, and that would be bonus projectiles. Yep. And that means for all our skills, we get the explosive grenade with +1, the flashbang, who's usually 3 with +1, even more stun. The gas grenade is gassing more. The explosive shot is actually shooting 2 explosive shots, and the oil grenade covers an even wider field. Now, there is a little downside though, and that would be the projectile speed, because getting this 20% projectile speed bonus has your grenades, well, separate themselves a little bit more. Now, obviously, you're going to shoot them as close as possible to your feed, and in our passive tree, we have something to counter this projectile speed. As our second skill, we're going to go for Tailwind. Gain Tailwind on skill use. That would be bonus movement speed, evasion rating, and skill speed. Throwing grenades faster than ever. If you get hit, you lose this. Doesn't matter. We're currently sitting at 72 evasion rating, and during a map, we're sitting at 80% with the Gathering Wind. Now, our last 2 points that we couldn't acquire yet because we have been waiting for this monster of a bow before we do it. So that would be now with level 85, I would just ascend a 4th time. We're getting Wind Ward, 3% less damage taken per Tailwind, and well, you can have 10 Tailwind stacks. So that would be another 30% less damage taken, preventing bosses from simply one-hitting you ever again. Fantastic, I love it. Now, this is already making the character stronger than the Merc can be, because our Witch Hunter Ascendancy does nothing. Sure, the Gemly Legionnaire stat stacking and the Hands of Wisdom and Fate of Action blah can be strong, but you know, I'm solo self-found. I didn't really bother about any of this so far and just been enjoying how powerful can I make a character in casual conceivable means. And that's where the Deadeye Ranger just truly eclipses the Merc. And a second thing is our passive points in general. I mentioned that we're more tanky than any Merc has the right to be. And that's because we have this 80% evasion rating, and we got 1,600 energy shield with almost 2,000 life. That 1,600 energy shield is more like 3,200 because we're playing Grim Feast, also Ghost Dance, and even Wind Dancer to buff people back and give us more evasion rating. This is a triple stack of defense, and this is all possible because we're starting here as a Ranger. Usually as a Merc, you would start over on this side with a bonus armor and evasion rating. But we don't want bonus armor and evasion rating at all. We'll rather start on the Ranger side, and then we're going straight away into the Merc points for the bonus cooldown use, the bonus grenades, so you can just head over there, get all the good thing that the Merc has to offer, all the bonuses, the bonus areas, the attack speed, the double fuses, the stats, because you want the stats that you're able to wield intelligence, dex, and strength gear, all furthermore. So this is amazing. But at the same time, we're in the Ranger side of the things, so we can head over to the Monk area for bonus energy shield, evasion rating, energy shield, evasion rating, energy, all this energy shield, evasion rating, plus bonus skill speed and even mana regeneration and skill cost reduction. This is all what we need to make our grenade build be more feasible than ever, because usually you just soak empty your mana like there's no tomorrow. But with the skill cost reduction and the bonus energy shield, we're on a level of tanky that's just plain amazing and super fun to play. Now, how do our skilled support gems and gear look like? We get the explosive grenade together with the scatter shot. That's just simply more grenades. And since our grenades can erupt twice, 65% in total, Scattershot is worth it. Yes, I am losing 1000 DPS for using Scattershot, 1500 DPS, but they explode twice. 2 more grenades, well, 4 times more damage, or 4 potential damage sources. Then we're adding Primal Armament because we always have some kind of elemental damage on our weapon as well, and the Explosive Grenade turns everything into fire. So even if you have a Lightning Crossbow, Primal Armament makes this kind of worth it. If you have a Cold Crossbow too, sure you want a fire physical or only physical, but it doesn't hurt to have Primal Armament. And then together with Heft, we do more maximum physical damage, and that's a lot of damage bonus, right? It's kind of like super worth it. Both of these are 1500 DPS plus. And this damage number is times the amount of grenades you have. In my case, I have 6 grenades, so we got 6 times 6, 36,000 DPS with the double eruption, so it's more like 6 times 9 for the actual damage. Now with the flash grenade, we added bleed to the build, because why would we not add bleed if this is mainly physical damage? The flash grenade just does attack damage times 361%. Super stun, super bleed, even less cost because else it's too expensive, and then even more stun buildup to stun through the stun. That the heavy stun is not a heavy stun, it's just a normal stun, and we just keep stunning through it. The gas grenade does corrosion. We're not doing that much physical damage, but it's some with the flash grenade, and it's also some with the explosive because it's only 80% into fire damage. It doesn't hurt to have the armor broken. Together with fire infusion for more fire damage and concentrated effect, as we don't need the big area since the gas is spreading, and it's just straight away erupting on the boss. Explosive shot is getting the double barrel that we have 2 arrows in, and we don't really have to worry that much about reloading. It's less reload speed, but at the same time we have martial tempo. Martial tempo affects the reload speed as well, and the handling in general. And then we get another 60% increased crossbow reload speed, which really has us be able to shoot crossbow bolts always. Grenade, crossbow, grenade, crossbow, grenade, crossbow, as we're going through. The oil grenade gets Despoiler to have a longer ground duration, with strip away for more exposure, and long fuse, that the effect of the skill is increased. But we cannot explode it before the end of the duration. Doesn't really matter, as we want the oil grenade just to be as long as possible in a boss fight. We don't want to shoot it too often. Therefore, everything to make it longer. Our flammability curse for the minus fire resistance is going for the heightened curse for more effect, then persistence for longer duration, and the +1 level to fire skills so far just to make it more efficient. Ghost Dance is giving us back energy shield as we get hit in comparison to our evasion rating. We have a lot of that. And that would be with the fast forward that the Ghost Dance is happening faster and we're stacking up more Ghost Dance. Wind Dancer is maiming and blinding people as it buffs them back as they hit us and increases our evasion rating tons to prevent one hits again. With the Grim Feast giving us the clarity on the mana regeneration and in general a huge chunk of bonus energy shield. Right now I'm only sitting at 1,600, but I would be looking for 2,000, 2,500 energy shield in total. And that should be pretty easy considering my helmet is only a 209 energy shield. I've seen helmets that go up to 500 energy shield, which also gives us another 1,000 evasion rating, as the energy shield on the helmet is also evasion rating. That being said, solo self-found, so kind of hard to find new things. My chest as well is not really that good, but it's still energy shield evasion rating here as well, and some inherent chaos resistance. You do want to have a lot of maximum life as well, as you want to get closer to that 2,000 maximum life. Now for the gloves, I would be looking for projectile skills, flat damage, because the flat damage gets multiplied up so nicely. This is currently evasion rating gloves as I don't have anything better, but an energy shield evasion rating mix would be preferred, or even full energy shield ones, as every energy shield gets doubled up. For the boots goes the same. This is evasion energy shield, full energy shield would be fine. We want movement speed as much as possible, especially for that ascendancy. And on the bow, you're looking for mainly a physical damage bow. Now, I do have a physical fire damage mix bow, as I do also fire damage, that's fine. But all the fire damage doesn't really work so good on our stun grenades. So maximum physical would be good. Then you want projectile skills. Projectile skills is super important. This one is an absolute lucky find and quite a crazy piece of bow. Now on our rings, we've been aiming for really the flat damage stats. This is fizz and fire damage and a lot of it. And if I would put this ring off, boom, that's 700 less DPS. And since all our DPS is times 6 or times 9 because of the payload and all the many projectiles we're having, it really counts a lot. The same here, it's 15 to 20 fire in the physical, Boom. If we had a percentage of fire damage plus, you could also take this, but the flat ones have turned out to be so much better so far. Now for the amulet, I wanted bonus projectile skills, but I got 30% increased energy shield, and that truly brings me right now from our 1,300 up to 1,600, and that's pretty good considering that it's double. So it's not 300 more, it's 600 more because of the Grim Feast, and just works way too good. For our passes, we get the bonus stun build up, bit less attack speed, but we counter this. Then you need the increased cooldown recovery rate because the payload support reduces that significant. That is a must, and the area of effect too. Same here, area of effect wanted with even more damage and reduced attack speed. It's a stinker, but we can handle. Then we want all the cooldown recovery, all the damage, bonus grenade, and bonus cooldown use into the right side for more projectile damage and reduce projectile speed. Mandatory, super important. Now, instead of taking these 1, 2, we could also go for 1, 2, 3 to just get a little bit more movement speed as well. But I really didn't want to waste those points here. Now, we do penetrate any kind of elemental resistance. As I said, if your bow has lightning or cold damage, you're good to go in that regard. We get more area of effect and cooldown recovery. Really important, and we snacked off the jewel because why wouldn't we? With a global physical damage bonus and damage penetrates fire resistance. Then we get all the stats that we have the intelligence, dex, and strength to wield all the equipment and use all the abilities, because obviously the Ghost Dance needs 73 dex and int, and the Grim Feast needs 106 int, as our Flammability Curse needs 106. It's all rather expensive. We get our grenades to bonus chance to explode with more attack speed and chance to blind. It never hurts to be able to blind your opponents. Then we're going upwards for even more chance to blind and good attack damage bonus. With our helmets, energy shield is also evasion rating. Then we're picking up skill speed, skill speed, skill speed, plus mana regeneration into skill speed and more mana regeneration and movement speed. All that mana regeneration helps completely to keep us more up and not run out versus tier 15 bosses or Zarok, that we don't just burn through our potion like crazy. That being said, on your potion, you really do want to look for gain charges per second, as that's really helpful. The build is mana hungry. More energy shield and evasion rating, the same goes here, more energy shield evasion rating, and then reduced skill cost. The reduced skill cost just helps so damn much. And our amulet is currently anointed with the node devastation for more attack area damage and increased area of effect. As more area of effect means more overlap on your grenades, means more damage in total. Now, I've been thinking about going into critical strike, but my critical strike is generally very low, and it's not really worth it on the grenades. When we're sitting at, well, 6.2%, getting that one up would be a monumentous task that's not really worth it. So we'll probably look out now with the next level to weasel out more damage, as our defenses are pretty solid and just equipment will give us very nice layers of defense. So probably just going for any kind of attack damage, potentially even up here, increase attack speed and reduce cost of skills, but that would already be a tons of points invested just to get up there. But on the other hand, it would be even more maximum energy shield and evasion rating as well. So these two cluster of nodes up here might be a good damage increase, and we're just able to do our things faster. All in all, the build is simply brilliant and works so much better than my original Merc. I am truly bamboozled how the Ranger just simply has overtaken the spot by having a better Ascendancy. Not that Witch Hunter is trash or Gemling Legionnaire, just that bonus projectile adds so much to the grenade playstyle. If you want to do grenades, here you go. This is the character you want to play. If you're not looking for tips for that 4th Ascendancy, or you're stuck on the 3rd, these two videos will be a help for you. Enjoy.